Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, once seen as the golden couple who dared to defy the British royal institution, now find themselves at a crossroads so intense, it could spell the beginning of the end. Recent reports suggest that Meghan Markle is privately terrified that Prince Harry's efforts to reconcile with the royal family are not merely a journey back to his roots, but a veiled prelude to something much darker, a potential divorce. This revelation has sent shockwaves across both sides of the Atlantic. The Duchess of Sussex, who once captured the world's attention as the vibrant American actress who stole a royal heart, now reportedly feels the walls closing in. Sources close to the couple paint a picture of deepening fear, isolation, and uncertainty, particularly on Meghan's part, as Prince Harry inches closer to mending the broken ties with his family back in the United Kingdom. But is this reconciliation truly about healing, or is it a strategic move to reset his life without her? The Duke of Sussex, once known for his fierce loyalty to Meghan and his decision to stand by her side against what they described as an institution rife with racism and neglect, has recently been making solo moves that suggest a subtle shift in priorities. From attending royal engagements in the UK without Meghan, to reaching out to King Charles and Prince William under the radar, Harry seems to be walking a tightrope between royal duty and marital loyalty. Meghan, according to royal insiders, is not just suspicious, she's terrified. The fear isn't just rooted in the idea of Harry slipping back into the royal fold, but in what that reabsorption might mean for their marriage. Those close to the Sussexes say Meghan sees the royal family not only as a source of trauma but as the very system she and Harry left behind for the sake of their mental health and personal freedom. If Harry wants back in, even partially, where does that leave Meghan? According to reports, she's been plagued by nightmares of history repeating itself, only this time, she might be the one left behind. Observers note that Harry's behavior has changed drastically in the past year. His public appearances have become more measured. His tone when speaking about his family is less combative. His frustration, while still evident in his lawsuits and public interviews, appears to have been replaced by something quieter, perhaps regret. Meanwhile, Meghan has taken a backseat in public appearances, focusing instead on her rebranded lifestyle ventures, podcast aspirations, and partnerships in Hollywood that have yet to bear the blockbuster fruit many anticipated. This imbalance hasn't gone unnoticed. The once unified front has begun to fracture, even if subtly. And it's in that fracture that Meghan's fear has reportedly grown into something harder to ignore. Multiple insiders confirm that conversations about re-evaluating the marriage have occurred, sometimes emotionally, sometimes logistically. The whispers of a potential split have grown louder with each passing month Harry spends closer to the royal orbit. And it's not just emotional tension. Financial pressure, media scrutiny, legal challenges, and business misfires have all converged on the Sussex household. Their multi-million-dollar deals, once hailed as proof of independence and commercial power, are reportedly underperforming. Spotify walked away. Netflix may not renew their contract. The glitz of Montecito living is now shadowed by dwindling momentum and public criticism. In the midst of this unraveling fairy tale, Harry's desire for peace with his family has taken on a more urgent tone. Insiders say he misses the UK more than he's willing to admit publicly. His bond with his father, King Charles, is said to be slowly repairing, particularly since the monarch's health scare earlier this year. Meanwhile, even conversations with Prince William, though strained, have reportedly resumed in private, brokered through mutual friends and third parties. But where does this leave Meghan? According to sources, she's been left feeling increasingly isolated, even betrayed. The woman who once walked hand in hand with Harry through royal exits and tell-all interviews now reportedly fears she's standing on the edge of a precipice, one where Harry might leap back into the institution she helped him escape from. Her concern is not just about public perception or loss of status, it's about the potential personal devastation of losing the man she built a new life with. Even among Meghan's Hollywood allies, there's a growing sense of unease. Some insiders suggest that industry executives have cooled in their enthusiasm, wary of the couple's polarizing image. Others believe Meghan is privately strategizing a new chapter, one where she becomes more independent, perhaps even preparing for life post-Harry if the worst comes to pass. It's important to understand that in the world of royalty, and especially in the life of Prince Harry, nothing happens in isolation. Every move is measured, every silence is meaningful, and every trip back to the UK is analyzed for clues. Royal watchers now speculate that Harry's recent solo visits are less about reconciliation and more about reconnection with the life he once knew, and perhaps with a future that doesn't include Meghan. Reports suggest that Meghan has made it clear she has no intention of returning to royal life, even in a supporting or temporary role. And yet, Harry's actions seem to indicate otherwise. Whether it's his presence at key events, his court battles in the UK, or his meetings with royal aides, the Duke appears to be laying the groundwork for a return of some kind. This divergence in vision, Meghan firmly rooted in California, Harry subtly gravitating back toward Windsor, has led many to conclude that something has to give. Sources close to the Sussexes say that while divorce is not currently on the table in any official capacity, the emotional divide between them is widening. Meghan's fear, some claim, isn't about a dramatic royal coup or a public betrayal, it's about the quiet erosion of a marriage that once thrived on solidarity. The couple that faced the world hand in hand may now be facing different directions entirely. As public curiosity grows and the media narrative intensifies, one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher. Meghan Markle, once the confident duchess who shook up the royal institution, now reportedly lies awake at night wondering if the man she fought so hard to keep by her side is slowly slipping away. And Prince Harry, torn between two worlds, may soon have to make the most difficult choice of his life. In a world where fairy tales rarely survive the harsh light of reality, the question now is not whether the Sussexes can endure the pressure, but whether they even want to. As palace corridors buzz with speculation and Hollywood whispers grow louder, viewers are left to wonder: is Prince Harry's reconciliation mission a path toward peace, or the first step toward goodbye? As the whispers swirl louder across Buckingham Palace, Montecito, and international headlines, one truth becomes unmistakable: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, once a symbol of rebellion and modern love, are standing on a fragile edge. What began as a unified escape from royal rigidity has evolved into an emotionally strained journey marked by individual ambitions, starkly different visions of the future, and a mounting storm neither may have fully anticipated. Harry's return visits to the UK, solo, symbolic, and increasingly frequent, are sending a clear message not just to the press or the palace, but to Meghan. Each flight back home, each private meeting with royal advisors, each whispered conversation with the king, reinforces the emotional wedge growing silently between them. Meghan's decision to stay behind in California, reportedly declining invitations or avoiding association with Harry's UK engagements, has only deepened that gap. And while the Duchess may cite media safety and toxic royal dynamics as reasons for her absence, those in the inner royal circle interpret her silence differently, as withdrawal, even abandonment. Behind closed doors, Meghan is reportedly tormented by the idea that Harry's return to his roots may come with irreversible consequences. According to sources familiar with the couple's private dynamics, she is deeply concerned that if Harry rebuilds trust with the royal family, they may encourage him to start anew, with or without her. And for a royal institution that has never truly embraced Meghan, the prospect of Harry without her has long been an unspoken hope. It's a harsh reality that many believe she now fears more than ever. Even Prince Harry's friends from his old life, those long-standing companions from Eden, the military, and his bachelor years, have started reappearing in quiet background roles. Some insiders claim this resurgence is intentional, orchestrated by palace figures who believe that reconnecting Harry with his past might pull him away from Meghan's orbit. It's subtle, but strategic. The royal family knows the value of time, tradition, and soft power. And Meghan, despite all her influence in Hollywood, may be struggling to fight a battle that's more deeply rooted than she ever anticipated. On the surface, Harry remains devoted. He has never publicly spoken about marital trouble. He defends Meghan in interviews, protects her from the tabloids, and references their love in every major platform he's offered. But body language experts and longtime royal reporters have noticed a distinct change in his demeanor. He seems wearier. His tone, once defiant, now borders on reflective. He doesn't speak with the urgency of a man fighting for escape, but with the exhaustion of one searching for peace. And Meghan, she's reportedly trying to re-establish her voice outside of Harry's shadow. Her solo projects, including a fresh lifestyle brand, podcast partnerships, and possible book deals, are positioned to reintroduce her as a standalone force. Yet the buzz around these ventures feels muted compared to the feverish excitement that once followed the Sussexes. As public interest begins to wane, so too might the foundational strength of their united brand. Without Harry at her side, Meghan may be forced to reimagine her identity not as a duchess in exile, but as a single mother and media figure charting a path on her own terms. And that possibility is what reportedly keeps her awake at night. Privately, Meghan has expressed concerns about not just losing Harry emotionally, but losing access to the royal identity that gave her global relevance. Though she and Harry officially stepped back from royal duties, their titles and lineage continue to be central to their public image. If Harry were to pursue divorce, and potentially agree to any royal terms that demand silence or distancing, Meghan could find herself completely cut off from the royal aura that once gave her such powerful media leverage. Royal aides, speaking anonymously, confirm that contingency plans are being discussed inside palace walls. Not for a public statement or legal action, yet, but for what a possible divorce would mean logistically. Custody arrangements for Archie and Lilibet, title reviews, financial settlements, and most significantly, the PR strategy needed to shield the monarchy from further damage should another explosive Sussex revelation emerge in the wake of a split. After all, the institution hasn't forgotten Oprah, nor has it forgiven the memoir. Any fresh drama involving Harry and Meghan must be carefully managed to protect the crown. Meanwhile, the tabloids have latched onto every subtle hint. A missed anniversary celebration, no recent joint public appearance, tense expressions during their last photo op. Even wardrobe choices and body posture are dissected with surgical precision. Some reports claim that Harry has stayed in separate accommodations during his last 2 visits to the UK. Others suggest that Meghan has quietly consulted legal advisors in California. Nothing is confirmed, but the smoke is undeniable. What complicates matters further is the undeniable emotional tether Harry still holds to his children. Archie and Lilibet are said to be his anchor in California. Friends say that even as Harry ponders reconciliation with his royal kin, he cannot bear the thought of being separated from his young son and daughter. This emotional conflict has made the decision even harder. For Harry, any move towards reconciliation with the crown could cost him his home, his daily life with his children, and his California comfort zone. But staying entirely in Meghan's world may forever estrange him from the family he was born into, and perhaps from the royal legacy that continues to define his identity. Then there's King Charles. The monarch has reportedly softened toward Harry in private. Sources suggest that Charles, after years of coldness and disapproval, now sees the value in bringing his youngest son back into the fold, especially as he himself faces growing health concerns and the daunting task of ensuring a smooth transition for the monarchy. William, ever the heir, remains more guarded. His relationship with Harry has been likened to a broken mirror, one that reflects pieces of a once close bond, but whose cracks may never fully heal. Still, there are signs of thaw. Quiet phone calls, shared friends reaching out, a secret meeting said to have taken place at Sandringham. But Meghan sees these signs differently. For her, every meeting Harry attends without her, every call he makes to a royal aide, and every private conversation that excludes her is a signal. A warning, a potential betrayal in slow motion. And she's not alone in her paranoia. Her close circle, Hollywood insiders, PR experts, and trusted friends, have begun whispering about backup plans. New ventures, relocations, even the possibility of Meghan returning full-time to acting or launching her own major media empire, independent of Harry. Yet, for all the rumors, the question remains painfully human. What happens when two people who once escaped the world to be together begin to dream of different futures? Meghan and Harry were supposed to be united in everything, mission, message, and movement. Now, they appear to be drifting. Not through scandal or rage, but through quiet, relentless divergence. Two people clinging to a love that may no longer be enough to bridge the growing gulf between them. And as the world watches, hungry for the next headline, there's an undeniable tragedy unfolding behind the glitz and glamour. A prince, desperate for peace. A duchess, desperate to hold on. A marriage, once fiery and fearless, now teetering under the weight of royal expectations, public scrutiny, and private heartbreak. So the question now is no longer if Harry and Meghan will weather this storm, but whether they even want to. Will Harry choose the royal legacy over his California life? Will Meghan walk away before he does? Or are we witnessing the final act of a love story that once captivated the world? What do you think? Is this truly the beginning of the end for Harry and Meghan, or is it just another test of their extraordinary bond? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And make sure to like, share, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a royal revelation.